She had the world at her feet. She was the face of an entire generation, an icon of the 90s. The girl every man wanted to love, and every girl wanted to be. And then one moment in a department store was enough. A few prescription pills and a pair of scissors in her pocket for Hollywood to tear her apart. Winona Ryder. To some, the shoplifter from Saks Fifth Avenue. To others, the mother from Stranger Things. But beneath the surface of that fragile, doe-eyed face lies a story of bullying, of a love that hurt so deeply she had it tattooed on her skin, and of a fall that would have destroyed most people. Welcome to another episode of The Deep Dig. Today we look at how a girl who was beaten at school because she looked like a boy became a legend who gets the last laugh. Winona Laura Horowitz was born in 1971 in Winona, Minnesota. She was not a typical little girl with dolls. She grew up on a farm without electricity in a hippie commune. Her parents were intellectuals, archivists of psychedelic culture, friends of the beat poets. Instead of television, she had books. Instead of fairy tales, the reality of the adult world. Her entry into the normal world was brutal. When she started school with short hair, wearing thrift store clothes, her classmates thought she was an effeminate boy. They beat her in the hallway so badly that they broke her rib. She needed stitches. But Winona did not collapse. Instead, she immersed herself in acting. In 1988 came Beetlejuice. While other actresses wanted to play cheerleaders, Winona wanted to be Lydia Dietz, a depressed girl dressed in black who sees ghosts. She became an icon for every weird girl of Generation X. Edward Scissorhands, Girl Interrupted. Her superstardom was sealed. But the 90s were a wild ride. Her breakup with Johnny Depp broke her. Winona Forever became Wino Forever. She worked non-stop. She did not sleep. She took medication for pain and anxiety. It all culminated in 2001. Saks Fifth Avenue. The theft of clothing worth $5,500. The media turned it into the trial of the century. It was a witch hunt. Winona withdrew. She moved to San Francisco. She disappeared for years. The world thought she was finished, but in 2016, she returned, as Joyce Byers in Stranger Things. No longer as the weird girl, but as a mother who fights monsters for her child. Her comeback is not just about nostalgia. It is proof that talent cannot be stolen or locked away. Sometimes you have to get lost in order to return stronger. And Winona Ryder came back. The godfather of LSD. Her godfather was none other than Timothy Leary, the famous psychologist and advocate of LSD. Her father was his archivist. Winona grew up surrounded by the beatnik elite, the poet Allen Ginsberg, and other intellectuals who shaped her view of the world. Marriage to Keanu Reeves. They might actually be married. While filming Dracula in 1992, director Francis Ford Coppola hired a real Romanian priest. The ceremony was real. Both actors and the director claim that before God, they are technically married. And Keanu still writes to her, "Hey, wife." Role in The Godfather Part 3. She was meant to play Mary Corleone, the daughter of Michael Corleone. But just before filming, she collapsed from exhaustion and high fevers. She had to withdraw. The role was taken over by Sofia Coppola. Winona stepped back to recover. The kidnapping of Polly Klaas. In 1993, 12-year-old Polly Klaas was kidnapped from Winona's hometown. Winona offered a $200,000 reward for her safe return. Polly was later found murdered. Winona dedicated the film Little Women to her, and she spoke about the case with deep sadness for years afterward. Named after a town. She was born near the town of Winona in Minnesota. The surname Ryder happened by chance. When her agent asked what name she wanted in the credits, Mitch Ryder was playing on the radio. Her real last name is Horowitz. Aquaphobia. At 12 years old, she nearly drowned. Since then, she has suffered from severe aquaphobia. While filming Alien Resurrection, the underwater scenes had to be repeated many times. She panicked beneath the surface. Production lost time and money, but Winona finished the shoot. The irony with Marc Jacobs. In 2001, she shoplifted a sweater by Marc Jacobs. A few years later, the same designer hired her as the face of his campaign. Winona commented with a smile, "Well, at least I had good taste." She didn't know Netflix. When the Duffer Brothers approached her for Stranger Things, she didn't know what streaming was. She thought Netflix was a new television network. She lives analog, without social media, without online exhibitionism. Christian Bale owes her his family. Winona introduced Christian Bale to his future wife, Sibby Blazek. At the time, she was Winona's personal assistant. Sometimes one meeting is enough. Mel Gibson and anti-Semitism. Winona is of Jewish heritage. Many of her relatives died in the Holocaust. At a party, a drunk Mel Gibson told her, "Oven Dodger." She later spoke publicly about it and opened the conversation about his anti-Semitism. Audition for Fight Club. She desperately wanted the role of Marla Singer. She auditioned, but the part went to Helena Bonham Carter. Ironically, her close friend from Tim Burton's circle. Her own stunt woman. On Stranger Things, she wanted to perform many scenes herself. She was over 40. She wanted Joyce Byers' exhaustion to feel real. Authenticity over comfort. Collector of vintage. She owns one of the rare original editions of The Catcher in the Rye. She collects old Hollywood costumes. Her home resembles an archive of film history. She never married. Aside from the Romanian wedding with Keanu Reeves, she has never officially married. She says she would rather never marry than have to get divorced. Her parents have been together for over 40 years. The bar is set high. Bullying after Beetlejuice. She thought success would protect her. Instead, children shouted "witch" at her and threw food. Fame does not guarantee safety. Fear of talk shows. She suffered from severe stage fright. Her appearance on Jay Leno in 1999 was only the second in her life. The first time she went on a talk show was only because Cher was sitting beside her. Voluntary hospitalization. At 20, at the height of her fame, she voluntarily admitted herself to a hospital. Depression, anxiety, exhaustion. Later, she produced the film Girl Interrupted to help destigmatize mental health. Valedictorian with a 4.0 GPA. Despite her outsider image, she graduated with a perfect 4.0 GPA. Discipline hidden beneath grunge aesthetics. Cinema in a barn. She grew up in a commune without electricity. Her mother ran an old movie theater in a barn. Films played all day. Winona was allowed to skip school to watch the classics. This was her true film academy. The story of Winona Ryder is not about stealing a sweater. It is about how brutal fame can be to a sensitive soul. Winona made a mistake. She paid for it with her career. She went into exile and returned stronger. She showed us that it is okay to be the weird girl, that it is okay to be vulnerable, and that even when the world writes you off, you do not have to give up on yourself. Today, Winona is back at the top, not as a victim, but as the queen of sci-fi and horror who survived Hollywood. Thank you for watching this story of redemption. If Winona's journey resonated with you, give us a like and don't forget to subscribe. And write to us in the comments, do you believe she is truly married to Keanu Reeves? See you next time.